So good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. So welcome to my live training on performance testing and engineering. Right. So we'll stick to this schedule going forward. This I think this is which hold on. I think this is seventh session, right? This is seventh session. Yes, seventh demo session. So today would be the tomorrow would be the last demo session. Okay. So tomorrow I'll show you how to create a script using LoadRunner and JMeter. That would be the last demo session. So from Monday onwards, we'll start the tool. We'll start with the tool, right? So I'll close the demo sessions by tomorrow. So tomorrow would be the last demo session, yes, right? So this is the seventh session, by the way. Okay, all these whatever we have covered are all basics only. Those who joined newly, right? Nothing to worry. So these are all basics like Windows shortcuts and know your computer, SDLC, testing lifecycle, goals of performance testing. These are all performance testing basics. And I have recorded sessions for all these. I shared with most of you, so you can watch them over this weekend. So those who joined newly, guys, those who joined from yesterday or today, please go through the complete the demo sessions today. I'll share you the links, links of my YouTube channel. All right. So before starting today's session, let's have some, aptitude questions, guys. The reason why I include these aptitude questions in the training is, so few organizations conduct aptitude test for not only freshers. Please remember this. Aptitude test will not be not only for freshers, but it will be for even 10 years or 15 years experience guys also. Some organizations will be conducting aptitude test. Okay, please remember that. Okay, when I say aptitude test, some people will ask like, we already have experience, then why do we need this aptitude? No, nothing like that. So aptitude test will be applicable. Some companies conduct aptitude test for even 10 to 15 years experience guys. Okay, so let's take some simple questions as part of this aptitude or reasoning skills, right? So the first question, let me give some, I think most of you might know this question. Actually, I asked this when someone called me for an inquiry, right? So in an exam for, the first question is, in an exam for, let me type it in some other. In an exam for 50 marks, please don't tell the answer here, please post it in the Zoom chat case. If you get 40, right, what is your percentage? What is the percentage? Very simple question, right? So, please post it in the Zoom chat case. Please don't, don't tell it here, but please post it in the Zoom chat. Yes, in an exam for 40 marks, if you get 40, what is the percentage? So I asked this question mostly like when you call me for an inquiry. That is the first question that I ask, isn't it? Hey, someone is annotating. Please wait. So disable annotation. Hold on. Let me clear this. Someone is drawing on my screen. Disable annotation. Yeah. So now you cannot draw. Yeah. My next question is the same question. I'll just change the numbers. This is my next question, guys. In an exam for 25 marks, if you get 20, what is your percentage? Yes, the reason why I'm asking these simple questions is some BTech graduates are unable to answer this question also. I heard, the answer as 90. Some BTech graduates gave me answer as 90 for this first question. So I'm really surprised, right? That's the reason I'm asking so simple questions. We are starting with simple questions. So, we will gradually increase the complexity. Okay. What is the answer for second question? Yeah. So I see most of you guys answered. Guys, I'm expecting answer from everyone. Okay. So let me check. Like I didn't get any answer from few of you. Shruti, I didn't get answer from you. Kirtana, did you post your answer, Kirtana? No, I didn't get answer from you, Kirtana. Guru and John. John, did you post your answer, John?
Hello.
I posted, sure.
Yes,
Guru.
yeah, I saw it here. Yes, thank you. Okay, so next person, guess. Okay. Third question is, if you get 30 out of 40, what is your percentage? Please post it in the Zoom chat, please. I'll stop my screen share. I got answers from I got answer from Suresh and Pritish and Venkatesh. Naveen Prasad, yes. Hey, don't post it to everyone. So guys, don't post it to everyone. Okay. Post it to me only. Select my name over there and post it to me only. So please don't post it to everyone. Guys, one last question, guys, for today. I'm sharing my screen to show you the question. Please don't post it to everyone. So this would be the last question for today. Yes, this is the last question for today, guys. If you get 25 out of 40, what is your percentage? Please post it, post it to me separately. Don't select everyone. Good. I'm seeing different answers now. 62.5, 60. I got only 3 answers. Shall I show you should I show you the question, guys? One more time. For 25 out of 40, if you get 25 out of 40, what is your percentage? $62.5, $60.5. I got different answers. Okay, I got 3 different answers: 62.5, 60, and 60.25, 60.25, and 62.5. I got 3 to 4 different answers. What is the correct answer, guys? What is the correct answer? Is it okay? Let me check. So 25 out of 40. I randomly gave some numbers, guys. Okay. So let me calculate. So 40, 25, 80, 50, 80, 50, and 62 and half, right? The percentage is 62 and half. Isn't it? Okay, so let's go to the session, guys. Someone is thinking like, murmuring attitude cheptunnaru enti ani. Okay, so I think I explained it, right? One second. I already shared this, this link to this YouTube, this recorded session. So in this slide, I explained like what is the difference between manual testing, automation, and performance testing, and what are the career prospects, and what are the career prospects in software testing, and the packages that you can expect in software testing. I covered all those in this video that I shared just now, right? This video. In this video, I share, I explained this in detail. All right. Yeah, let's go back to this performance testing. So performance testing is a non-functional testing to determine the speed, stability, scalability, and reliability of a web application, any application, whether it is a web application or a mobile application. Performance testing is a non-functional testing to determine an application speed, stability, scalability, and reliability. Now, so I explained this: what is speed, what is stability, what is scalability, reliability. We discussed this, these also. These are all basics, and you will not have dependence on the not much dependence on the previous day concepts. So in this session, I am going to explain performance testing life cycle. Okay. And once we complete this performance testing life cycle today, tomorrow I'll show you like how to create a script with LoadRunner tool and JMeter tool. Please don't miss tomorrow's session, very important session. So scripting with, so many of you have that query still, right? So how much scripting how much coding we require, skills we require, and all, right? So all those doubts will be clarified tomorrow. How do we create a script, right? So most of you have that query, right? So all those queries will be clarified tomorrow. Please don't miss tomorrow's session.
Will you start tomorrow or Monday? You said tomorrow will be table.
No,
discussion.
table topics will for the first 5 to 10 minutes only.
Okay, not the entire session. Okay.
No, it will be for only 5 to 10 minutes. Just to accommodate the late joiners also. I will start sharp at 11 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay, fine.
11 to 11:10, we will take table topics, and then we'll go into our actual session.
Okay, sounds good.
Don't join late intentionally. The next day, that person will be the first one to answer, right? To cover that table topic, to take that table topic. Okay, those who joined late tomorrow, please join at 11 o'clock sharp. All right. So let me explain performance testing life cycle. Means what happens in a project when you get a performance testing project. What happens from end to end? How does the project start and how does the project close? Right? That's what life cycle means. Understood? Yes, please be interactive. Okay, please be interactive. Right? So suppose we also discussed like what are the critical business flows of the application, net banking application, and some travel application and all. Do you remember that? I hope everyone remember that. Yes or no? Yes, we discussed this. I discussed this in the every demo session. What are the critical business flows of a net banking application? Suppose you want to do performance testing for a travel application like Redbus or IRCTC or ClearTrip or MakeMyTrip, any travel application, right? So first we will determine what are the critical business flows of the application, isn't it? Ante real time lo production lo em chestar users, end users, what end users generally mostly do with the application, right? This is what most of the users do, right? First, they will register themselves and then search availability of bus tickets. It can be buses or trains or flights, and search packages, tour packages or pilgrim packages. Or they may book tickets, and while booking ticket, they will do payment, and they cancel ticket. They may cancel ticket or print ticket or track their ticket or hotel room booking. So these are the critical business flows for any travel application. Is it clear, case? I'm repeating for new joiners, for the sake of new joiners, new participants. Okay. Naveen, Divya, and
Yes, Kishore. Yeah.
Right. So see, this is what most of the users do, right? When you consider any application, travel application, this is what we do, right? First, we will register ourselves to create an account, and we search for ticket availability. It can be buses or trains or flights based on the application. And so we can search for packages, tour packages or pilgrim packages. We can book tickets using a travel application, and we can cancel some once in a while. We'll cancel tickets, and we may print tickets. Of course, now everything is of course now SMS are these are enough nowadays, right? Nowadays you are showing a ticket or something or message, right? And tracking the bus and then hotel room booking. So these are the critical business flows for travel applications. So in the same way for net banking application, these are the critical business flows, right? We discussed all this in the demo sessions. These are available as public videos. All the demo sessions available as public videos. I will share the URL, playlist URL. If you click on that URL, you will get the complete list of videos, whatever basic videos. You will have a list of those. Let me quickly share it. So this is November 2021 batch, daily batch. Yeah, this one. So you see here, right? You see all the demo sessions over here. 19th November is the first demo. Second demo, I explained just Windows shortcuts and computer basics here. Third demo, I explained software development lifecycle and testing lifecycle. Fourth demo, I explained goals of performance testing for already existing and newly built applications. These are very easy to understand topics. Please go through the demo sessions. Those who joined, in the last 2 to 3 days. I'm sharing this playlist URL in the WhatsApp group. So if you click on this URL, like you will have the complete list of videos, recorded sessions covered till now. All these are basics, guys. Actual load runner and JMeter sessions will be started from next week. So are we clear so far, everyone? So what is meant by critical business flows, right? Yes, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now suppose let's assume that JioMart want to do performance testing for their web application, right? JioMart came into the market recently, right? So let's take this example. If they want to do performance testing for their application, JioMart application. Okay. So I hope everyone knows this JioMart, right? Yes or no? JioMart.com is the website, right? Suppose they want to do performance testing. They came into the market newly, into this e-commerce business, and let's assume that they want to do performance testing for their web application, right? Now these would be the critical business flows. Obviously, user registration, search products, right? Search products. So we search for we can search for any product over here, isn't it? Right? And add to cart, make payment, and place the order, cancel order, track order. These are the critical business flows for any e-commerce application like Amazon or Flipkart or JioMart. Right? Now, suppose JioMart want to do performance testing for their application. Now, what they will do is they have to identify some service-based company, right? So they have many options. There are many service-based companies in the market. You have Infosys, TCS, CTS, and Tech Mahindra, and many other companies, right? Many other service-based companies. So they, they will look for the options like which company to choose, which company to go for. So for that, first of all, they will float something called RFI. JioMart, or the client. Can we call that as client going forward? The client company, they will float something called RFI, request for information. RFI stands for request for information. Now, the service-based companies will be having sales teams, some sales teams, right? So whose job is to get the projects? Whose job is to look for the customers and get the projects? That is their job. So the sales team will be, will collect that RFI, will be looking like, whatever company is floating for an RFI, and they will, they will connect with them. The sales team will connect with them. Sales team of service-based company. See, every company will have their own sales team. Infosys or CTS or TCS, all of these service-based companies, they will have their own sales team. Now, what they will do is the sales team will contact the, some contact person from the client side, and they will get that RFI, and they will pass it on to the technical team. Now, technical team, there will be project managers and test managers or project managers, right? they will be responding to this RFI, request for information. Let me show you one sample RFI. So there will be some standard set of questions in the RFI. Okay, I'll give some example here. Okay, let me give some example. Suppose you want to buy an apartment or a house, right? You want to buy an apartment or a house, right? So then like one way is you will inform the brokers or mediators that I want a flat in so and so area, or else you can also post it in some Magic Bricks or some, like there are a lot of websites for that, right? Real estate websites for that, right? Magic Bricks or Common Floor or something. So you'll post your requirement over there, isn't it? To get the leads, yes or no? Or else you will contact some mediators, right? Then mediators, will ask like, what is your requirement, isn't it? Guys, able to follow?
Yes, sir.
So first of all, when you approach some mediator, you will ask them. Let's say, for example, you want to consult a real estate company, a consultancy. First, you will ask them, in which area do you provide service? Yes or no? How much do you charge? Isn't it? What is your, how much do you charge for the service? And in which all areas you will provide? Will you provide only this, will you help us only in searching the flat, or will you help in registration and all other works? Yes or no? Right? So in the same way, any organization who is looking for some performance testing service, they will float this RFI. And let me show you how does a sample RFI look like. I will stop my screen share for a moment. Like let me pull up that document. Okay. This is how an RFI document looks like. This RFI document was floated by a company called UBC, University of British Columbia. Let me show you their website. Okay, let me show you who the client is. University of British Columbia. They wanted to do performance testing for their university application. Okay, for this application, they wanted to do performance testing for their web application, for their university application. So for that, what they did is they floated an RFI, and I was working in a service-based company. Actually, I have masked the service-based company. I removed the service-based company, and I just mentioned that as a placeholder. Okay, because I am not supposed to reveal the company name. I have masked this company name. Understood, guys, why it is a service mentioned as service-based company?
Yes, sir.
Right? So the client will ask these questions like this: what portion of your business is dedicated to performance testing? Means how many resources you have for performance testing. Out of the total company turnover, what is your performance testing? How much you get from the performance testing assignments? Means they're just trying to assess like what is the core capability, how much experience this service-based company have. You understood, guys? So now we responded, I was working for a service-based company at that time. I worked on this RFI and I shared this, these responses to them, right? So I mentioned that we have a dedicated competency groups for all types of testing activities, not only performance testing. We have dedicated competency groups for all types of testing. 12% of our total business is from performance testing assignments, right? The next question that the client asked is, how many full-time, part-time, and contract performance testing staff members are there at your company? So this is my response on behalf of the service-based company. And what are the typical roles and responsibilities of your performance team structure? So here I have listed out what are the different designations, what is the team hierarchy, right? So we'll have a performance architect, performance test manager, okay, and senior performance tester or lead, and performance tester. So these are the different designations or the team hierarchy in our organization at that time, okay, in that particular company. Next, the next question from the client is, what is the average team size for performance projects? And next question is, describe your onboarding process for performance projects. And this is the onboarding process in that service-based company, right? Onboarding process means if you want to onboard a resource to the project, how much time you will take. So you can, if you see the table, you will understand here. If you want to onboard a test manager, it will take some, if it is offshore lead, it will take 3 to 4 weeks. If it is on-site, it will take 4 to 6 weeks, right? So I responded to their different questions, to their different queries, which are part of this RFI. You understood, guys, they will provide you, a question paper like this. What portion of your business is dedicated? These are all questions asked by the client. And this is the blue color ones are our responses. Is this clear, guys?
Yes, Kishore.
Okay. So I'll share this, RFA and RFP documents to you, so you can go through that later. Not required for everyone. Actually, your team lead or project leads will be responding. I was working as a team lead at that time, so I responded, to this RFA. You got it? Okay. I wrote some good amount of additionals. Okay. You might have, you might have used like this additionals, right? You might have written a lot of additionals in your exams, right? So in the same way, I wrote a lot of additionals. I took a lot of additionals and I responded to the RFA. Now, so in this way, client receives, RFIs from different organizations. Then what they do is they will sort out some service-based companies, right? So they will go through the responses and they will sort out some service-based companies, service-based companies, and they will allocate 1 day for each company, and they will explain your, in the next phase, client will explain the service-based company about their application, and they will ask for something called RFP, right? RFP stands for request for proposal. RFP stands for request for proposal. I think I have started notes for you, right? Running notes for you, right? Did I start it, guys? Yeah. So I started it here. So this is your, class notes. I'll share this document also with everyone. Okay. So RFI stands for, yes.
Request for information.
And RFP stands for
Request for proposal.
Request for proposal.
okay. Guys, no other trainer covers this, guys. If you start performance testing anywhere, they will start directly with the tool. Okay. But these are important for interviews. So performance testing life cycle, what is RFP, what is RFI? These are important for interviews. Okay. And also once you get the job also, like you should be having a complete understanding of the complete performance testing life cycle. Got it? So, most of the trainers start with, they will start with load runner. They will take 1 or 2 sessions on performance testing basics and they will start with load runner directly or JMeter, right? So my training will be like this. So it will be like, 200 hours training, by the way, 100 to 200 hours. For one tool, it will be 100 hours for each tool. Load runner 100 hours and JMeter 100 hours. So the total course duration will be 200 hours. Okay. I'm not sure if I have shown you or not. So I'll show you some previous batch trackers, then you will get an understanding. So this is my September 2021 batch, which is still going on. All right. So till now we completed 100 hours. You can see here. Okay. So you can see I will maintain a tracker for every batch like this, what concepts I covered. So, see, this batch mostly contains of like 4 to 5 years experience, guys. Okay. Already guys who are having some experience, and also like those who want to claim 4 to 5 years experience. So for them, the training would be 200 hours. For fresh 2019 or 20 pass outs, it will be only 100 hours training. The complete training will be 100 hours required for them. All right. So coming back to this, running notes. So next client asks you to submit a RFP, request for proposal, or a solution document. We call that as also as a solution document. Solution document means what is the solution for their application, for their for doing performance testing for their application. What is the process and how much does it cost? This is something like quotation. Okay. So as soon as I see, as soon as I hear this word quotation, I'm pausing recording. Okay, I want to discuss some off topic. So client also saw that that Lalita Jewelers Kiran Kumar Yad. So he will also get quotation from different service-based companies. Got it? So and here in technically that is called as RFP, request for proposal, or a solution document. Now, what does a solution document contain? Right? The solution document contains, like what is the test approach? Okay, let me show you some RFP. Share it, yes. Now, like I have shown you one sample RFP, right? So once client receives the RFP from different companies, right? And RFP also contains what is the team size and how much we are going to bill the client for the project. So it's kind of quotation. Got it? It's a kind of quotation, right? If you go to buy a laptop or a desktop from the market, or if you want to buy a flat, right? You'll get some quotation from the vendor, right? From the builder, you will get some quotation, yes or no? This RFP is something like your quotation, right? Now client will evaluate all those solution documents, and they will award this project to one of the service-based company, right? They will collect, they will take quotations from 4 to 5 companies, and they may award this project to one service-based company, right? Or they may give, they may give one project to one service-based company, some other project to some other company, based on the based on the solution they have provided, right? They will choose like what is the best solution for them, what seems to be best solution for them, right? Or sometimes like they will look at the budget, right? So those who quoted less, some clients will be selecting the service-based company which quoted less amount, right? Less amount for doing the project case. Understood? Yes or no? Right? And now once they award the project, right? So then every team member will start working on the project. Once we get a project, for example, you are working in Techem, or you are working in a service-based company like CTS, right? Once you get the project, right, then every team member will be involved from here. In the first phase, your team leads or project leads will be involving along with the sales team, right? Only team managers will be involving over here. Managers or team leads or senior resources will be involved here in the first stage. Once you get the project, right, every team member will be involved here, and you will collect the requirements from the client, detailed requirements from the client, right? And these requirements are called as non-functional requirements, in short called as NFR. Okay. So I'll share you some, in the next slides, I explained what are the non-functional requirements. So in the next couple of slides I have listed out some non-functional requirements. Okay. We'll discuss that in detail. So in the next phase, right, every team member will be involved here, and we will collect the non-functional requirements for that project, right? From the client, we will have regular team meetings with the client, and we'll collect the requirements. Now, once we collect the requirements, again, team lead or project lead will be preparing something called test plan document. They will prepare something called test plan document. Test plan document means it will list out the complete approach, like, how we are going to plan the test, what are the timelines, right? What is the team structure? I'll show you one test plan document also. Let me show you one, test plan document. I'll share the screen in a moment, guys. Sorry for that. So let me show you. Pull up one test plan document, and I'll share. Yes. So this is one sample test plan document. So what does a test plan document contains? It contains the project background and scope. Means what is the objective of doing performance testing? We will list out here what is the objective of doing performance testing, right? And what type of test we have to do. I'll go to the index and explain you quickly. What type of test we have to do? What are the performance test scenarios means? What is meant by this? Any guess what is this performance test scenarios? Guys, those who joined, for the past 1 week. So can you explain what is this performance test scenarios?
Means like when.
Yes, please go ahead.
When we need to test the application, we're already already the application when it is in the production, is that the answer for that, sir?
No. Performance test scenarios means we discussed what are the critical business flows of the application, right?
Okay.
So these are called as performance test scenarios. Means we will not test the complete application. We will take only important business flows of the application for performance testing. So in functional testing, everything should be tested end to end. functional testing law, if you know in a project, if there are 100 functional test cases, for performance testing there will be hardly 10 or 15. That's it. You understood? Okay, let me explain this. Seems like most of you don't have an idea, right? So for example, which application shall we take? We'll take gmail.com. Okay, so I'll explain like what is functional testing, what is covered as part of functional testing, and what is covered as part of non-functional testing. See, first let me explain functional testing. I already explained this previously, right? So functional testing test cases will be in hundreds, okay, but performance testing test cases will be in tens. Okay, there will be hardly like 10 to 15 test cases, performance test scenarios, but functional test cases will be 200 or 300 maybe, right? Or 100 to 200 or 300, because in functional testing you have to cover everything, every page. You have to cover every page. There will be something called positive test cases and negative test cases, right? So what is functional testing? If you want to do functional testing for Gmail, what do you test here? Guys, once you go to this sign in page, you have to enter some email ID or phone. So first I will enter some input, give some input, and click the what are we supposed to do next? Once you enter the email ID or phone number, you have to click on next button.
Whether it is
Now
valid.
it is not mandatory. Yes. So once we enter the email ID, it will ask for a password, isn't it? Suppose yes. So this is the expected output. This is input, and this is the expected output. Yes or no? Application should ask you password once you enter your email. Suppose you enter some invalid email address like this, some junk value like this. What should happen now? If you click on next button, what happens?
It will throw error message.
Right. It will show an error message in red color saying that enter a valid email or phone number. Right. This is functional testing. Right. When we provide some input, whether we are getting the expected output or not. Right. We are testing the functionality of the application. Right. And now in performance testing, we will not do this. This is non-functional testing. Performance testing is a non-functional testing. So what we will do in performance testing as part of performance testing, we will identify what are the critical business flows of the application, and we develop scripts for each of these. Which I will show you in the next session. Tomorrow's session I will show you. Right. Then you will get a clear-cut idea. Okay. So we will identify what are the critical business flows of the application, and then we will do performance testing for these critical business flows. Okay. So now in the requirement gathering phase, we will collect all these requirements and we prepare a test plan document. The test plan document we will keep all the critical business flows. What are the performance test scenarios for that application, right? And when are we going to start scripting? When are we going to start a test executions? What type of tests we are going to do, right? And we provide all this information in a test plan document. Okay. We provide all this information in a test plan document, and we should get a sign off from the client. Client should go through the test plan document and he should formally approve the test plan. Got it? Guys, able to follow or any difficulty? Any difficulty in understanding, guys?
No, yeah, it's understandable.
Okay. So you can relate this with some real-time examples. Okay. Suppose, you can relate that flat example, or you can relate with this some interiors example. Suppose you went for interior designing. So he'll give you a quotation first. Like he'll first ask you what is your budget. So before asking quotation, right, you will ask the interior designer, any flats ki chesavu intaku mundu. Can you show me some flats which you have done previously? Some pics or videos of your previous work, right? You'll ask that or not? Yes, please respond. Yes, let's make this interactive. Okay, more interactive.
Yes, sir.
Suppose you want to buy a flat, or you want to construct a house, for example. This applies to any scenario. Suppose you want to construct a house. So you will inquire with some builders. You will ask them how many buildings have you constructed previously, right? So what is your experience? How much? How much? What is your team size? How many members you have? Right? Yeah, what where all what are the what all are the areas you constructed previously, right? Ekkadakada construction chesavu. So you'll ask this, right, everyone? In the same way, client will ask some questions in the RFI, and we will respond in the RFP document, just like how the vendor responds, right? So builder gaani vendor gaani ela respond avutado, alage service based companies they will respond to the RFI, and once they get RFP, request for proposal, they will give you some quotation kind of thing, right? This is some quotation kind of thing, and once you approve, like once you give the some once you finalize some vendor, right, then he will collect the detailed requirements, and he will collect the detailed requirements, isn't it? And then they will give you some design, yes or no? If you are constructing a house, they will give you some design. They will get a plan, right? House plan. They will get the house plan done by an engineer, and they will show you so that you have to approve that design, yes or no? And you may modify some changes, of course. So once you get the home design, right, so your blueprint, right, you may suggest some changes to them, isn't it? In the same way, client will go through the test plan document, and he may provide a sign off. Sign off means, yes, I am good with this test plan, or else he may suggest some changes to the test plan. So once you get a sign off from the client, then you will start scripting. Means then you will start developing scripts, working on that project, right? You will start develop. So suppose you have your team size is 2 members or 3 members, right? So you will start developing scripts for each of these critical business flows, right? So once you work on the scripting, once the scripting is completed, so then someone should review your scripts. Your senior resource, some senior resource or team lead should review your script, should review your work, and they have to test each script whether it is working fine or not, right? I'll show this. You will do hands-on in the next 1 month. You will do scripting and script reviews, anti-testing. Everyone will do in the next 1 month, guys, right? And then once the sanity testing is done, sanity testing is nothing but a trial run or a dry run. Okay. Those who are doing script review, they will verify whether your scripts are working fine or not. Then we will set up the test environment, and we will do different types of testing. First, we will do a smoke test or sanity test, or all these are one and same. We call that these are called trial runs. Okay, trial run or smoke test or sanity test or dry run or a shakeout test, right? So what is the objective of doing this is, what is the purpose of doing this is to fix any script issues or environment issues. Okay, this is to fix any script issues or environment issues, right? Everyone might have seen this, those who are in Hyderabad, right? So like when L&T started, before starting this metro service, they did trial run for couple of months, yes or no? They will do track test, they will do trial run, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, how many of you observed that? Before starting, before releasing it for public, they did trial run for a couple of months. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Kind of trial run, right? To fix any issues in the environment, or in this case, to fix any script issues or environment issues, we will do this trial run. And then we will do the actual test executions. Means we will test on the application. We will run the scripts, we'll do the actual tests on the application, right? And once we do some text executions, we will create a report. I'll explain you what is this high-level report and detailed report later on, once we are done with the scripting, right? And once we start text executions, I'll explain, right? How does a report look like, and what all details should be provided in the reports, in high-level report and detailed report, right? We will submit a report to the client saying that we tested your application with these many users. So client will tell you, like, I want to, like, for example, JioMart came for performance testing. So client will tell you, JioMart, someone from JioMart team, they will tell you that my application, JioMart application, online application will be used by, say for example, will be used by 1 lakh users per day. Okay, 1 lakh users per day. Then we have to, and these are the critical business flows of my application. First, user will register and create an account, right? And they will search for some product. isn't it? These are the critical business flows for any e-commerce application. Yes or no? Amazon or Flipkart, right? What do you do generally with Flipkart or Amazon, guys? I'm repeating for new joiners for the sake of new joiners. For example, what do you do with Amazon? Can Divya, can you explain? I believe like everyone used Amazon or Flipkart before. Divya, can you please respond? Divya, are you on mute now? Naveen?
Yeah, Kishore, actually we'll first of all we'll enter into the site. Okay, we'll see the price and products. Then
Right. We'll search for some product, right?
Yes, yes,
Search for some product and you'll see the price and availability and all, isn't it?
yes,
Price
I
and how
compare
many
with
days
the-
you will get, and
yes,
you'll see the reviews, isn't
yeah,
it?
I compare
Okay.
with the different vendors like Flipkart. I can choose and then I can book the product.
Correct. So then you will place an order. If you like it, you will place the order, right?
Correct.
Isn't it? And you may track the order. So these are the critical business flows for any e-commerce application. We discussed that previously, right? I have shown you, you know, like I have given you a gist of that, isn't it? Somewhere here. All right.
First of all, we'll register for the site. Yes.
Yeah. So now what we will do is like we will in the performance testing, what we will do is we see, suppose you want to test with 1 lakh users, you want to test Flipkart or Amazon with 1 lakh users. You cannot engage 1 lakh testers, right? You cannot
Correct.
engage 1 lakh testers and you cannot engage 1 lakh machines, isn't it?
Correct.
Right. So what we will do is for that, we will create a script for that, test a script for that, and we will test the application with the help of those scripts.
Yes.
Okay, because manual load testing is next to impossible. Okay, manual load, right? Let me show you that. So suppose you want to test an application with 50,000 users or 1 lakh users. So you cannot engage 50,000 testers or 1 lakh testers, and you cannot engage, you know, these many number of machines also. Yes or no?
Yes.
So for that, what we will do is we will create a script for each of the business flow, and we will run those scripts on the application. Right? Because manually we cannot do performance testing. We can do functional testing manually, but we cannot do performance testing with 50,000 users or 1 lakh users. Yes or no?
Yeah.
That's why like we will develop scripts for that. We'll develop scripts for each of the critical business flow, and we will run the scripts on the application.
Yeah.
Clear, guys? And this is how we use a tool. I'll explain this later. How do we do performance testing and all? I'll explain this later. Okay, I don't want to give too many inputs in the demo sessions itself. All right. So let me go back to the performance testing life cycle, and I close it in 5 minutes, guys. Okay. So once we do different types of testing, like load test or stress test or soak test, then we'll create a report for each type of test, and we will also analyze the results, test results, and provide any recommendations. For example, your client target user load is 1 lakh users. Okay, 1 lakh users. But after once you test with when you are doing performance testing, let's assume that after 50,000 users, your application is breaking. You are not getting the page loaded, or you are not getting response from the application. Then we have to analyze what is the root cause of the issue, and you have to provide some recommendations to the client. Right. So again, this is the responsibility of senior resources. Okay. So those who are having 2 to 3 years experience, you will be involved from here to here. You will be involved from requirement gathering, test plan preparation. Test plan also, of course, senior team lead or project lead will be doing. Those who are having 2 to 3 years experience, you will be doing this scripting, script review, setting up test environment, and test executions only till here. Right. Senior resources will be doing this job, like preparing a report, high level report or detailed report, and analyzing the test results and providing recommendations. Okay. Now you got some clarity, like what are your roles and responsibilities. Don't think that everyone have to do each of this. You need not do, one person cannot do all this from end to end, right? So of course, like some projects will be having individual contributor role, but they will take 5 years or 10 years experience, guys, minimum. Individual contributor means if it is a small project, only one member will be there. He should do everything from the beginning, from requirement gathering to reporting and signing off, right? Or from here to here, only one person should do, right? That is called as, if one person is handling that, That is called as individual contributor role. Okay, but in such projects they will take like minimum 5 years experience guys only. So most of you are freshers, right? So what you will be involved from scripting phase to test executions, mostly from here to here, or some companies you have to prepare a test, mostly like you will not be involved in reporting also, you will be involved from here to here. Clear guys?
Yeah, Kishan.
Yes.
Right, any queries guys so far? Or let me complete this remaining 2 points. So once we do a test, right, we will first share a high level report and then share a detailed report. High level report should be shared to the client on the same day of testing. Test avagane, like they will expect some high level report in 1 to 2 hours, right? After that, after 1 or 2 days, we'll take some time to analyze the test results and we'll prepare a detailed report and we'll provide our analysis and recommendations, right? Let's say, for example, your application target user load is some 10,000. Let's say take some small numbers, 10,000, and your application is breaking after 5,000 user load when you are testing performance testing, when you are doing performance testing of an application. So let's say assume that the application is breaking for after 5,000 users. Then you have to analyze senior team resources guys, senior members of the team, they should analyze the results, test results, and they have to provide some recommendations. What exactly can be the reason? What is the reason for those issues, right? And now what they will do is developers will fix those issues. The developers will understand your recommendations and they will fix those issues, and they will ask you to do one more round of testing to validate if the issues are fixed or not. This is called as application tuning. Means tuning the application, web application or desktop application or mobile application, whatever it is, tuning the application under test, right? That is called as by implementing the recommendations provided by performance testing team. Okay, this is called as application tuning, right? And what is the purpose of doing this application tuning? To fix the performance issues and eliminate the bottlenecks, right? To eliminate the bottlenecks, we do this application. Developers does this guys, by the way. Developers will make some changes, whatever we have recommended. They will make some changes and they will ask you to do testing again to make sure that the issues are identified and and eliminated, right? So in this is a continuous process till all the issues are identified. It would be a continuous process, and once all the issues are identified, we will prepare a final report and ask the client to provide a sign off. Sign off means project closure. Sign off means project closure, right? And now once client says that client has to formally agree on the mail that project is completed and done as per their satisfaction, as per their expectations, then the project will be closed. So this is a typical performance testing life cycle. So I'll take a pause here guys. Any queries before we close the session for today? So tomorrow we'll start scripting. I'll show you like how to create a script, because many of you have that question, right? So how much how much coding is required to develop a script? First of all, how does a script look like, right? So I'll show that tomorrow, and next session from next week onwards, we'll discuss this in detail. This requirement gatherings and test plan preparation, we'll discuss that in detail. For tomorrow, I will show you how to create a script with load runner and JMeter. All right, guys.
Yeah, Kishan.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm passing recording for recording purpose and channel purpose. So if please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.